don't drive in water.
In the early hours of the flooding began late Saturday night and intensified rapidly. By 1 a.m., residents along Jewel Creek and Pilak Creek were jolted awake by water rushing into their homes. Emily Bath, a Muskego resident, recounted the moment her basement began to flood. It was only a little bit at first. 2 minutes later, I had 3 inches of water, she told TMJ4 News. The storm system, described by meteorologists as unpredictable and fast-moving, dumped between 8 and 14 inches of rain across the region. The NWS extended its flash flood warning through Monday morning, citing ongoing rainfall and saturated ground conditions. Local law enforcement and emergency responders worked through the night, knocking on doors and urging residents to prepare for evacuation. In neighborhoods bordering Pilak Creek, families watched nervously as water levels rose. Christine Barlbin, who has lived in the area for years, said, I've never seen flooding like this in our neighborhood." Nick Cregan, whose backyard borders Little Muskego Lake, explained his family's evacuation threshold. "If it goes up a little bit closer to the playground, we're out," he said, pointing to a slight incline that offered temporary protection. The Muskego Fire Department conducted dozens of water rescues, responding to over 600 emergency calls between 8 p.m. Saturday and 7 a.m. Sunday. One of the most dramatic scenes unfolded around Little Muskego Lake, where rising waters swallowed docks, backyards, and waterfront patios. Boats, jet skis, and outdoor furniture floated freely as the lake surged beyond its banks. Steve Zingshame, a lakeside resident, described the chaos. "My fishing boat was almost sunk this morning. My pontoon boat was floating between the docks." Zingshame said the water began seeping through his home sidewalls around 11 p.m., and his sump pump couldn't keep up. "You're helpless. Water's gonna go where water is going to go," he said. The floodwaters washed out several roads, including a major section of Gold Road in Muskego. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation reported closures on I-43, I-41, and I-94, as well as numerous state highways and local streets. Drivers were urged to avoid flooded roadways and heed all closures. Power outages added to the chaos. At the height of the storm, over 38,000 We Energies customers were without electricity. Fallen trees and downed power lines were reported throughout Waukesha and Milwaukee counties. The flooding disrupted daily life across Muskego and surrounding communities. The final day of the Wisconsin State Fair was canceled, and the main stage act was called off due to safety concerns. Schools and businesses announced closures, and many residents were left to assess damage to their homes and vehicles.
Goes up past Brighton's knees.
Social media was flooded with images and videos showing submerged cars, buckled roads, and residents wading through waist-deep water. One viral clip showed a pontoon boat tied to a tree, floating in what used to be a backyard. Benjamin Shepard, a meteorologist with the NWS Milwaukee office, explained the complexity of the storm system. "This first round of storms has been unpredictable in terms of when and where they'll intensify and how fast they will move." The NWS warned that additional rainfall was expected through Monday morning, with saturated ground increasing the risk of further flooding. "Turn around, don't drown," Shepard emphasized, noting that most flood-related fatalities occur in vehicles. The Muskego Police Department advised residents to monitor their official Facebook page for real-time updates and safety alerts. Emergency shelters were opened at local schools and community centers, and volunteers mobilized to assist displaced families. Officials urged residents to stay away from riverbanks and culverts, which had become unstable and dangerous. Stay away or be swept away. Red 1 NWS advisory. As floodwaters began to recede late Sunday afternoon, the focus shifted to recovery. Damage assessments were underway, and city officials pledged support for affected families. Insurance claims surged, and cleanup crews began clearing debris from roads and properties.
Hey, good morning.
Local nonprofits and churches organized donation drives, offering food, clothing, and temporary shelter. The community's resilience shone through, even amid devastation. The NWS listed Muskego among several cities experiencing flash flooding, alongside Milwaukee, West Allis, Wauwatosa, New Berlin, Brookfield, Greenfield, Menomonee Falls, Oak Creek, and South Milwaukee. The August 10th flood in Muskego will be remembered as a defining moment for the community, a test of its infrastructure, emergency preparedness, and collective spirit. While the damage is extensive, the response has been swift and compassionate.
Monday, August 9th, and I'm
As one resident put it,
Milwaukee, Wauwatosa.
"We've been through storms before, but this one was different. Felt like the whole city was underwater. But we're strong. We'll rebuild."
And you can see that 2 feet deep.
Record rainfall fell across much of the metro Milwaukee area late August 9th and early August 10th, leading to major flash flooding across the region, canceling concerts, submerging cars, and shutting down the Wisconsin State Fair. The heavy rain was part of a larger system that affected much of the central United States. The National Weather Service said repeated additional rounds of heavy rain are likely to produce instances of flash flooding from the Central Plains to the Midwest on August 10th. In hard-hit Milwaukee, no flood-related deaths were reported within the city, but residents are facing major property damage, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson said around noon on August 10th. Officials pleaded with residents to stay out of their cars and off the roads. Thousands of homes were also without power in the region, according to the local energy company. Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky said 65 water rescues were completed overnight. Dozens of people were rescued from in or on top of their cars, he said. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers ordered National Guard vehicles and operators to support Milwaukee County's response to severe floods, especially in areas facing flash flood warnings. Milwaukee County declared a state of emergency for floods, with more expected. "I continue to urge folks to use caution when traveling in areas affected by last night's floods," Evers said on social media. "Please take care and pay close attention to weather updates in your area." The National Weather Service also issued a flood warning through 10 a.m. local time on August 11th, given a chance of rain forecasted along with lingering effects of the existing deluge. The full extent of the flood damage will be sorted out in the days to come as homeowners and apartment dwellers deal with flooded basements. Jacqueline Zeladon lives on the city's northwest side near Glendale, Wisconsin. She said 3 feet of floodwater poured into her basement, all after 2 a.m., and she said 4 neighbors reported flooding up to their thighs. "Everyone is waking up and we're all experiencing the same thing. Basement flooding," she said. "All is lost. Our furnace, water heater, deep freezer with food, CD collection, clothes, appliances, all that is downstairs is damaged." As Zeladon was talking about the damage, she looked out her street to watch debris float away. Manhole covers had popped off, and a lost dog didn't know which way to walk. The Wisconsin State Fair, held in West Allis, a suburb of Milwaukee, was shut down early in the evening of August 9th and will not reopen for its scheduled final day on August 10th. Meanwhile, the USA Triathlon Sprint and Par Triathlon National Championships in Milwaukee were canceled due to flooding, Weather.com reported. The Major League Baseball game between the New York Mets and Milwaukee Brewers is being played as scheduled on August 10th, a day after rain pushed through the roof at American Family Field during the Brewers' victory over the Mets on August 9th. Even as rains came down on August 9th, people at the state fair made the most of the situation. The Wisconsin State FFA Honors Band and Choir, featuring members ages 13 to 21, got a much bigger audience than anticipated at the Youth Exhibit Hall as hundreds sought shelter from the storm. Monty Dunham, the band's director, said the bolstered crowd got into the performance. I think we were able to raise their spirits in what became a torrential downpour for more than an hour and eventually led to the fair closing early, Dunham said. FFA band members had a great time, and I think the audience had at least a really nice diversion during a weather delay. It was a more entertaining performance than we had even expected. River levels in the Milwaukee area continue to fall after extreme storms sent them to record-breaking heights overnight. The Milwaukee River has fallen to 8.7 feet in downtown Milwaukee, after cresting at a record high of 11.19 feet early in the morning, said Andrew Quigley, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service. Meteorologists continue to monitor river levels as rain showers move through the area this afternoon.